Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to my evening news report right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. Take a look at this photo right here. Sanders filing for 2020 primary ballot. Vermont senator won't criticize Warren, but says his own views have not changed in decades. Senator Bernie Sanders filing for his second consecutive New Hampshire First in the Nation presidential primary Thursday distinguished himself from one of his closest competitors by pointing to his long history deep in the progressive trenches. The Vermonter came into Secretary of State Bill Gardner's office shortly before 12 p.m., provided his $1,000 filing fee, and for the second time filled out a declaration of candidacy. Sanders won the 2016 New Hampshire Democratic primary by a margin of 60% to 38% over equivalent nominee Hillary Clinton. Sanders then spoke to supporters at a rally on the State House lawn. Sanders told reporters after he filed that while he had no intention of disparaging Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts or any other Democratic presidential candidate, some of you may know that I'm 78 years old. The point is, there is an advantage to being in politics for a long time. Sanders said the idea I'm fighting for without no expectations. These are not new ideas. I didn't hire someone consult to go out and say, hey, do a poll. Tell me what ideas I should be speaking about. This is who I am. Sanders and Warren, along with former Vice President Joe Biden, have been consistently in the top 3 positions in the New Hampshire polling. Warren and Sanders, who calls himself a Democratic socialist, are clearly appealing to the same progressive ideological base, yet neither candidate has criticized the other. Sanders on Thursday, he won't do that even as the campaign heads towards the home stretch, calling Warren a friend. He also called Biden a friend, but took aim at the former vice president's criticism of Sanders and Warren's plans to fully government-run Medicaid for all. Sanders criticized Biden's support for broadening the existing Affordable Care Act. He also criticized Biden's authorizing of a super PAC to raise money on Biden's behalf from large corporate donors and wealthy individuals. Sanders said that Biden should explain the advantages of his ACA-based health care plan, which maintains a differentiating, wasteful, and cruel health care system. A system today which is costing us twice as much per person as the people of any other individualized country pay. He said Biden's plan maintains the profiteering of the drug companies and the role of private insurance companies. He said that when premium deductibles and co-payments are eliminated, average Americans will pay substantially less for health care costs under Medicare for all. But he has also acknowledged that there will be some tax increases for the wealthy and middle class to pay the multi-trillion-dollar bill. Sanders responded sharply to moderate Democrat Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia, who said during a television interview Wednesday that he would not support Sanders over President Donald Trump because Manchin said Sanders' ideas are not practical. Sanders said West Virginia is suffering from the opioid epidemic and has low wages and is dominated by wealthy corporate interests. Sanders also criticized New Hampshire new voter residency law, which is being challenged in the courts. He said that while he wants to make it easier for people to be able to vote, apparently your governor thinks differently, and he is going to make it harder for young people to vote with what I would call a poll tax on young people. Sanders predicted during a July interview with WMUR, I think at the end of the day, we're going to win New Hampshire. He retired the prediction Thursday at the State House, saying, we look forward to winning this state. But he added, we take nothing for granted. The key is grassroots organizing, he said. Sanders said his campaign has more than 6,000 volunteers in the state, adding, I think there is no other campaign out there that has the kind of grassroots support that we have. He said he has appeared at 30 events in the state, and we are going to be back here time and time again, as he has done often in the past visits. Sanders thanked Granite Staters for giving us our very first victory, followed by 21 other state primary and caucus wins in 2016. He said the message for New Hampshire in the last election cycle was clear endorsement of his progressive ideas and proposals, which many viewed as radical and extreme. Sanders said he is also feeling great after suffering an heart attack on October 1st and undergoing procedure to insert 2 stents into an artery. While his campaign said several weeks ago that he would cut back schedules, Sanders said, I expect that at the end of the day, we will probably do more events here in New Hampshire than any other candidate. Sanders began his first visit to the state since his October 1st heart attack with a rally at Keene State College on Wednesday night. He was scheduled later Thursday to appear at a forum hosted by Rights and Democracy New Hampshire and Claremont. Pete Buttigieg became the first major presidential contender to file for the New Hampshire primary on Wednesday, the first day candidates could file. And that does it for my evening news report right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Thursday night, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another news report. Good night and bye, everyone.